What's up everyone? Welcome back to Alien Gaming TV. My name is Benji. In today's video we're going to go over my kind of half review of Cyberpunk 2077. I'm not completely done with the game. I want to say I'm about 40 to 50% done with the main storyline, but I've been wasting a lot of time doing different side quests, doing different gigs. I've been spending a lot of time just kind of walking around, just kind of taking the whole city in. Honestly, it's easy to get lost in that game, and there's just so much to do. Let's get into it. Before I get into my actual review on the game, I have to mention though, I mean, you probably already know this by now if you spend any time on YouTube or social media or on Twitter at all. This game is actually going through the rounds and just getting a lot of bad reviews from everyone because of how glitchy it is and how unfinished the game actually is. Now, I actually ran into a lot of issues with it. The first playthrough, I mean, the first day I played it, it crashed twice on me. I saw a couple glitching, a couple people clipping through walls and stuff like that, cars kind of not really being where they need to be, just kind of stuff just running into each other, just not really complete, and just very unsatisfying to someone who's been waiting for 8 years for a game like this. What I've been told through social media, what I've been reading is that if you have the game on the base console, like the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, the original one, not the S or the X version, and you're gonna have a lot of problems playing the game, and it's almost unplayable. I have a couple friends who have the base Xbox One version with the original Xbox One, and I have been asking them, how is the game for you guys? How is it running? Are you guys running into any issues? And so far what they have said is that there has been glitches, but it hasn't been totally unplayable, which you have probably read about the base consoles. Now, with the PS5, the first day I played it, it crashed a couple times. I saw a couple of glitches, like I said, but once the update came out, that 1.04 patch fix came out, I've noticed an increase in quality and gameplay, but the glitches are still there. I was just playing it not too long ago, and yeah, they're still there. They haven't totally gone away just yet. It hasn't crashed though, which is a good thing. I think ultimately what people really care about is that the game crashes on them. I mean, who really wants to boot the game up, start playing the game, get so far into a mission? Because if you have been playing this game, you know that this is not a pick up and play type of game. You really have to kind of put your time into it. You have to really spend time on a quest. There's a lot of dialogue. If you're not into that, this game's not for you. I feel like a lot of people compared this game to Grand Theft Auto, and the only similarity I think this game has to Grand Theft Auto is the fact that it's an open world, there's cars, and you can shoot stuff. That is the only similarity. Everything else is totally different than Grand Theft Auto. That is basically it. So if you're not into RPGs, this game's not for you. I myself love RPGs. I am a single player type of guy. I don't really like multiplayer games. I like to play games that I have to spend time completing and being immersed into it. And this game basically is just that. Minus the glitches, it's been okay for me. Not totally unplayable. Now, what I really like about the game is just how they have different ways about going missions, so of completing missions. So if you don't even like to deal with any of the hacking skills, if you don't even like to deal with anything that has to do with being a stealthy kind of player, that's fine. You can just buy guns, pick up guns, upgrade guns, and just go about any mission, any kind of quest, literally anything in the game that has to do with achieving some kind of goal. You don't need to hack anything to do it. It's just a different way of doing it. I myself, I come from an Assassin's Creed type of background, so I love the whole stealth attitude, and I think that is probably the best way to play it at first. I don't know, everyone's different. I think I'm having a lot more fun playing it that way, where I'm upgrading my cyberware and all my cyber abilities and all the other stuff, and all the abilities that come with it, benefit, experience in the long run. I feel you can spend a lot of time just shooting people, but the thing with that, if you're only using an assault rifle, you're only going to upgrade your assault rifle skills. You're not going to ever, get your cyberware climb up the ladder. You're never going to get more experience, with all the other stuff. So I feel like if this is your first time playing it, kind of go around and just read what everything does and just kind of learn the game. It's not a game for everybody already. And then the fact that there's so much dialogue and so much things that you have to read and learn, that can definitely push a lot of people off. despite all the bugs, I mean, there's just so many reasons to dislike this game right now, but for me, I'm having fun playing it. Another thing I thought was really cool was that I thought I like how the different, you know, speech challenge. It doesn't really change the outcome of what's gonna happen in the mission. I know there's a linear line that the story kind of has to follow, and you can't really steer too much off of that. But I do like that when you're talking to someone, there is little parts where you could choose to be a certain way towards them, or you could choose to say one thing rather than another. And then if you choose to be a certain a faction, I like to call them. I started with the nomad. I'm pretty sure a lot of people start with the nomad. There's different like nomad things that you can say to them. So like it kind of brings it all around. It kind of grounds you in a sense of it kind of reminds you who you are playing as a player. And I thought that was really cool. You're not just playing as a random person with some crazy outfit on and whatnot. It's you know, you actually have, you know, there's a little bit more into it with who you are playing as a character that kind of goes into the story slightly. Not too much, just slightly. I think just enough. Another great thing about the game is you also have a phone, and it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto in that sense. Also, I forgot to mention that. And you answer texts, and you're always receiving phone calls from different people. You're getting all these different, like, you know, jobs are being given to you. You're being called by this person. They say, meet me here. I have to go there. So you're constantly, you know, working your way towards this, you know, I feel like you're always working on some quest at one point at all the time. You're never really focused on one thing at once. I mean, you could just do that. You could totally ignore your phone if you want, not answer any phone calls or any texts, but you're not going to be picking up those quests that I like to. I'm a quest collector. I like to just walk around and talk to everyone and say, you want me to do something for you? I'm going to go ahead and do it because I want to complete quests and I want to gain more experience and I want to level up. And this game gives you a ton of opportunities to level up. There's so many things going on around you. You can be driving your motorcycle or, you know, or a car down the road, and you're on your way to a certain marker to complete a quest, and then you look on your left side and you see some criminals doing some bad behavior and stuff, and something's gonna pop up and they're gonna say, you know, neutralize the enemies and collect the loot, and you're like, okay, you know. So and what's great about that is you can go about that any which way you want. You can go stealthily, you can stab someone, you can shoot someone, you can hack someone. There's also a couple of different things. I don't want to really spoil the game for too much. I like I said, I haven't even finished the game yet. I feel like even though I want to say less than halfway done through the game, I barely even, like, you know, saw a tip of the iceberg of what this game has to offer as far as content goes. And I just think it's great. There's just a lot of different things you can do in the game. The bad, so there's a couple things that I think are kind of a pain in the butt. I think they're gonna fix it, but I think some people are definitely gonna complain about it the first time around, is your marker. So if you have a particular quest queued and you have it, like if you're tracking a particular quest, it'll give you exactly where to walk and everything. Sometimes it can be very vague on where you need to go. You need to be going upstairs and it'll have like a little spiral going up, and you're like, where? Okay, there's the staircase. Okay, it's on the top level. So those are things like you know, you have to pay attention to. Also, if like you see the icon of where you need to go, it'll have a little arrow that's pointing down or up, so it'll let you know if you're above it or you're below it, to kind of give you an idea where you are. Because even though this map is not as big as The Witcher was or other maps, it is definitely very, very, very dense in the sense that there's a lot of buildings and different levels that you can go on. There's elevators you can take, there's different levels, and there's just so much to find. So you can get lost very easily running around Night City. The guns are great. I think the guns, they could be a little bit better. I mean, I feel like you have to kind of put, the more work you put into the gun that you get out of, and you have to put attachments. Obviously, I think it goes for any kind of first-person shooter game. You know, there's a lot of different stuff you can do with the guns. There's different cyberware abilities. There's different stuff around the world that you can hack. Like there's just computers just hanging out, and if you see a guy that's just standing there that you need to get past, you can pull out your scanner and you can distract him with that, or you can basically make a poisonous gas. Believe it or not, there's a perk on your cyberware called Contagion, and it emits poisonous gas in the area and within a certain radius, and it affects your enemies. And then if you upgrade that, the radius expands, so you can have an even bigger radius of poisonous gas. So you can be this badass like poison hacker type of guy, kind of like a net runner. You'll run into those in the game. You can be that in the game, so you can basically be anything, you know, which I think is great about it. You know, a lot of people feel like you're like stuck to the rails in this game, and when you're on a quest and you're driving and you're going somewhere, or you're with another NPC or another player in the game, yeah, it can feel like you're kind of tied down because you're following that particular quest. But once you're done with that quest, once you're finished, you can go and do whatever quest you want. You don't necessarily have to just do whatever the game tells you. What I have been doing, and I don't know if anyone else has been playing the game like this, I think it's a very counterproductive way to do it because I'm probably putting a lot of different quests on hold doing it this way. But when you're in the game, no matter what, you're always, unless you untrack them, you're always tracking a particular quest, and there's always somewhere to go. There's always somewhere you can go and some person you can talk to or something you can pick up or something you can find. Now, when you are on the way to that quest that you were tracking, you're going to get a phone call, you're going to get a text from someone, and you're going to be told, hey, do this, I need a job, this and that. What I've been doing is to make myself feel even more immersed into the game is the second I have another quest be given to me, I immediately start tracking that quest and I go off on the quest I'm finishing. I was actually currently working on. So what that means is I'm just kind of spiderwebbing all these things and I'm just going into the void, and just as soon as someone comes up to me and says they need help, I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna keep doing that quest until it's complete, and then I'm just gonna keep going to the next one until that one is complete. I never really find myself like, okay, which one do I want to do now? I'm gonna go to this quest. I'm gonna go to this quest instead. You know, there's such a ton of crap to do that you just can't really focus on one thing. So I feel like it's just good to just kind of just do what's in front of you. You know, if it's telling you to go somewhere, just go to it until someone else tells you to do something different. Eventually, it's gonna get kind of annoying because you're not completing any quests. But at the end of the day, once you finally reach the end, because some quests are longer than others, so I feel like if you spiderweb your quest like that, just kind of half complete one, then half complete another one, and then someone says, hey, you want to do this? Go ahead and do that, because at the end of the day, you're going to have all these quests to complete, and then they're just going to be like boom, 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 and you're just going to complete them all, and they're just going to all spiderweb and trinkle and all finally get completed. And I just think that's a kind of interesting way to play the game. I'm playing it right now that way the first time around. I don't know if it's a good way of playing it, but I'm just enjoying it doing it that way. I don't know. Everyone's different. Yeah, and when I mean that there's a ton of stuff to do, I mean there is a ton of stuff to do. It's so easy to get lost. Earlier today, I was walking around Japantown, and I was doing a quest with a particular character, and a lady stopped me, or I actually walked up to her, and for $100, I could have a good time. And I said, all right, you know, so I went with it just to see. I wanted to see what the game had to offer. And sure enough, for $100 in Cyberpunk, you can sleep with the prostitute, male and female. And yes, I did both. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Just to show you that I wanted to just see how far I could take this game, how far I can really take this character and see what else I can do. Like, is this person gonna turn me down because I look a certain way? No, I mean, if you want to swing left, if you want to swing right, you can. And I think that's really cool. I think there's no particular way to play or live in the game. So overall, I think the game has a lot of work. It needs a lot of work done to it. They definitely have their definitely have their work cut out for them. cdprojektred. I really think that they should have delayed the game a little bit longer. I feel like everyone feels the same way. I mean, I feel bad for all the people that had bought the game and had to return it and get the refund, because they're sitting there with their. I mean, yeah, they got their money back, which is great, so they could spend it on a different game, or they could start playing something else if they had to finish something in their backlog. But they want to play Cyberpunk, so they have to wait until what, February, until the actual official release or an official, patch comes out. But what I say to that is that if they're gonna say February, they said December, they said April of this year. What would happen if they released this game in April earlier this year without any kind of next gen console this game was made for the current gen consoles. So I don't understand why they said in their Twitter. You can look it up, but they said in their Twitter basically like we should have worked harder on making the game run better on current gen. They actually didn't call it current gen consoles. I thought it was stupid of cdprojektred and ridiculous to call it last gen consoles. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One aren't last gen consoles. They are current gen consoles, and the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X are the next gen consoles. And if they're gonna call it last gen, they were making the game for this alleged these last gen consoles. So that's bullshit, to even say something like that. I just think it sucks that they had waited this long to say, oh, the game's incomplete, and then they finally pushed it out. They should have just, I know they can't physically wait any longer because they probably had shareholders, they had stocks. People are pulling stocks out of the company because of this, you know, this release date. But I just feel like, you know, if they had the chance, they probably would have waited longer to give us a complete game, but they felt pressured. And I feel they felt pressured because of the shareholders and the people who have stocks in the company who were saying, hey man, this game needs a launch, man. This game needs a launch now. I feel it was that, and it was also the next gen release. I feel like they wanted to jump on board the people buying the new consoles, and they wanted to kind of squeeze their, you know, their pre-order and slide it in real quick for those guys too. And I think they succeeded as far as money goes, but as far as quality and content goes, they failed definitely as a company and as a game. Overall, I think it's gonna get fixed, and then once it's done, it's gonna be this amazing experience for some, not everyone, and it's gonna be, you know, fun, and it's gonna be talked about. Definitely this launch of this game is gonna be talked about for years to come. They're definitely gonna be on the chopping block for the next couple years for something like this. But overall, I think Cyberpunk 2077 is an amazing game. I think has so much to offer. If you haven't played it yet, play it, please. Watch some videos on it. You know, let me know what you think. If you play the game and you've liked it, let me know in the comments down below. If you own a current gen console, if you own a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 4 Pro, an Xbox One, an Xbox One X, an Xbox One S, and have the game, how is it running for you? Is it running good? Is it crashing for you? Are you having a hell of a time, you know, even getting past a mission? My friends are saying that it's fine. It's glitchy, but it's fine. They're able to play it. So let me know. So that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I just wanted to talk about Cyberpunk 2077, just kind of give you what I thought about it. I'm kind of updating this room here. I know this is not really professional looking. I have my GoPro here. I got my light up here. And it's not quite lit yet here. It's gonna get lit. So we need to work on that. I know I gotta work some lighting. I get some lighting back here or something like that, clean up these shelves and all that. You know, that's gonna be the goal, just kind of just getting this channel off the ground, just trying to get content out there. And I don't wanna just produce crap. I wanna make sure that the stuff that I do produce is decent, you know, decent enough to watch, you know, have a place to hang, you know, somewhere to people, a place for people to come together and kind of talk about gaming. You know, I'm a huge gamer like most of you guys, and I just enjoy talking about gaming, and that's exactly why I made this channel, is to have a place where I can do that. So I love to do that in the comments. So let me know what you guys think about this game. Let me know what you guys think about cdprojektred, and let me know what you guys think about what's gonna happen in the future. I love you guys so much. This is Benji from AGT. Thank you guys, and have a great one.